General Iyer, as well as Tilak Devashare, and also, of course, viewers, Wing Commander Sudhakaran. So, Wing Commander, what do you make of India's response thus far? And are we dithering on employing or deploying the full spectrum retaliation? Because I get the sense, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that that's the only language Pakistan understands.
If you ask me, I would take this back right from 2014. Modi has steadily gone up the ladder step by step. Today we have reached a stage wherein we are looking at Operation Sindoor in isolation, but I want to look at in tandem with the IWT treaty that has been held in abeyance. Even if Operation Sindoor stands paused for a week, 2 or 3, or a month, 2 or 3, the water will bring these dogs back to the battlefield, because they are, the tap on, tap off, the kind of philosophy that Modi has been adopting. It is beyond the ability for these people to think. That is one point that I want to make. Operation Sindoor to me was not merely a military action. It was a new doctrine of strategic messaging, precise, restrained, and purposefully very clear. So far, the execution has been just about textbook. I'm an AD guy. I've been trained in Akash, in Pichoras, in a couple of Russian systems and radars. The way that we handled the Pakistan attack yesterday was, commendable. It's actually a dream. It was actually, we could never imagine such a level of handling 5-10 years back. But I've seen these things growing, evolving. And yesterday, these things were put to test for the first time. And boy, they didn't, they were just so perfect. In a world clouded by noise and confusion, India spoke not through words, but through calibrated action. Today, we talk, when the world listens to our briefings, they find a lot of sense in what we are talking. We are not like the Pakistani defense minister who doesn't even know, what to do with the drones. In fact, for God's sake, he came to the parliament and he said that we deliberately didn't engage the drone. How hilarious. What kind of a mockery would he have made out of himself? And the prime minister, no less.
No, but that's, look, hang on. I know, we know what is transpired, we know the defense that we've put up, etc. But I'm actually talking about the language of retaliation. Have we gone that far? Brahmachaleni, should we be actually now seizing the moment? Because there are many people who say seize the moment, there are others who say no, hang on, we can play the waiting game. What should we be doing? Because as of now, it appears that India hasn't chosen the full spectrum response till now. Some say that India cannot afford a conflict. It has more to lose. Some people say India shouldn't sacrifice its moral high ground by choosing escalation. Where do you stand on this?
I agree with you. There is hesitancy on India's part. For example, it is hesitant to employ its naval power to inflict costs on Pakistan. What we are seeing are rival aerial campaigns and artillery duels. There are no reports of movements of large number of troops or of heavy weaponry to the border. Contrast this with the situation during Operation Pahalgam in 2002 after the terrorist attack on Indian Parliament, when as many as 8 lakh troops were on either side of this India-Pakistan border. India's economy is 11 times larger than Pakistan's, and India's military spending is nearly 8 times bigger than Pakistan's. Yet, see how we are responding. According to our own language, we are saying that we are responding in equal measure to Pakistan's military provocations. India is responding in similar domain, in similar fashion, in a responsible manner. Today's briefing said by the MEA that Indian armed forces have responded, quote unquote, proportionately, adequately, and responsibly to Pakistan's aerial attacks. Now, this amounts to allowing Pakistan to control escalation dominance. We are responding to what Pakistan is doing. Why don't we up the ante? Shouldn't India bring its superior military power to bear on Pakistan in a way to impose high punitive costs.
Okay.
What is India's end objective in Operation Sindoor? The end objective should be to humiliate Pakistan's military so that they are left licking their wounds.
Yeah, but we don't seem to be doing that. We are going from one TV interview to the other saying, no, 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 you see, we are not trying to target the military. We are trying to target the terrorists. Tilak Deveshir, I'm getting that sense. I don't know, we are so stuck on trying to draw this distinction between the two when there isn't. And then we sort of contradict ourselves to say, no, no, but the state also stands with these terrorists. So if that is the case, and the Prime Minister has said, I'm not only going to come after those who have carried out, the perpetrators that is, carried out the dastardly act in Pahalgam, but also their backers. Now, are we doing that? Or should we already have been doing that? Or should we be reacting? And if we are reacting, why are we reacting? Why aren't we taking the initiative? Those are the questions that come. If you're saying let's respond proportionately, then sending 4 drones across is not a proportionate response. These chaps yesterday kept us awake all night till about 4 in the morning, harrying us from Leh to Sir Creek.
I agree with what you're saying. You see, Pakistan is a country that does not exercise restraint or responsibility or proportionate response. You know, they are the ones who commenced this round by killing our people in Pahalgam. So we have to react and react severely to make them suffer the consequences of what they have done and to ensure that they don't do it again. So if that is the objective, I think that has to be the objective. The objective can't be to just 4 drones as against 200 drones. So I agree with you that, you know, we need to hit them much harder than what we have so far. Because Pakistan is a different kettle of fish. It doesn't believe in any rules or any responsible behavior. It's hitting you hard as it can. And if you think, you know, as the saying goes, कि वो कत्ल करते रहते हैं और हम शर्माई जा रहे हैं. You know, why are we feeling on the back foot? We should hit them far harder than what they are doing.
Okay, so let's 1 second, let's break this down here. Let me get in General Pandey and ask him, what is possibly, sir, holding us back from using the full spectrum option?
Okay, Rahul, firstly, let me tell you that we spent that late night with you, and thereafter I saw 4 anchors yesterday back to back. My back was literally broken, but I think spirit was not. And right now I'm in a colder environment watching all this which is happening somewhere in Himachal. Why is it this in the entire conundrum of discussion, I being a military man, while I have retired, so you know, jingoism will come to very easily to me. Why am I the only guy trying to say that don't rush, right? So while we are talking that we have got power, might, we are controlling escalatory, again, please understand, who's controlling the escalatory ladder? This is how you perceive. I think we are controlling the escalatory ladder. I'm not on the behalf of the government. I've not spoken to anybody. What I can make the sense of the entire thing, that there are 5 basic tools of your state tools, element of power, which are now being utilized. Military is being utilized in a graduated manner. Today, we are not in the time of an Parakram mindset that we need to, you know, you remember the Cold Start doctrine. We deployed forward for a very quick walk-in environment. But the circumstances today have changed, right? We need to, I feel, like, I want to just break down very simply that if economic might is in our power, let's not rush into it headlong. Let it be calibrated, drawn. One is in our interest, not in the interest of Pakistan. They will want a quick closure, right? Let's have a fight. Let's have a number of casualties. Let's kill enough number of people this side, that side. And let's thereafter drop our arms and say, now we are tired. Where is everybody? Let's come back. So while we may be still economically powerful, you know, there is a whole back end thing which has to now gear up and ginger up and go up to support for a longer time. We may have a staying power for 20, 25 years, maybe a year worth. Pakistan may have just about 4. But the
So hang
fighting is
on.
not. Yeah.
General Saab, look, this afternoon I do a show called Take 3 with 2 other of my colleagues, and I was having this debate. And ironically, I was the one who was saying we shouldn't rush in, that we should take a step back. Yes, we need to take decisive action, which will lead to a certain degree of the reimposition of deterrence, but we can wait it out. My colleague was arguing that no, we should do a short, sharp, quick one because we're the bigger economy, we have much more to lose. What does Pakistan have to lose? So that's why I'm asking you.
No. Hold. Let me just quickly go back to Israel, Hamas,
Okay.
and Ukraine, Russia. Ukraine backed up with NATO, the power and everything, money. Whose economy is rising? The Russians, right? Look at Israel and Hamas. Whose economy is rising? Let's not jump into this thing in which this guy will still come out up in a stronger.
Okay.
We have got him strangulated. Look at the naval power now which is getting deployed. When you start choking him on that side, when you're choking him from the Western Front, when the routes from the Chinese are not going to be limited, right now, who is going to invest in this radical rabbit guy? Let's draw him out. And trust me, Rahul, 2 years heading a very, very important assignment. I have worked strategic wargaming not once. I have done variety of tools. Before that, I have held appointments where lives have been lost on my orders and lives have been saved on my orders. I understand what I'm trying to say. We have got the capacity. I've worked on, not on my back of the envelope. I can sit across the table to your team or anybody who wants to argue to tell you, let this draw out. You will see what I'm saying.
Okay.
So and the second part, we should look rational. We should have adequate, just a balance for going for a full-fledged war. Everybody is calling a war. I don't call it a war. I have been in the scenario of ceasefire violation, taking shells on my head. I've seen people blown on this side and killing on the other side for not one day. I've seen it for fire packages, what you call fire exchanges, fire duels going for days altogether. I've seen Kargil quite up close front. Please understand, wars don't go in zippy.
Okay.
Right? The people who want to go into zippy will be the losers. You may be a very, very powerful nation.
Okay.
You
So
look
let
at
me
the
get.
Americans.
Okay.
I'll just close on this. Let's look at the Americans, the most powerful country. How do they go into war? They go with preparation, right? When they have to go into attack, they spend time more than 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 months, 6 months. I'm not saying we have to go for 3 to 4